So often than not, as your community, we have not created a community of safeness. So you feel like you can't go talk to your pastor, you can't go to talk to your church friends because what will they think of me? You can't wish you can't wish depression out of your life, darling. You can't wish depression out of your life. You need to get into the manual work. And the manual work sometimes means being vulnerable. You will not understand why you're surrounded with these people who you feel are not supporting you, but there's some support they're offering you. If we are working with a facade of strength and we got life figured out, the thing is, it will reach a point where you can't do it anymore. You are not weak by acknowledging weakness. Often than not, we are filled by the need to act perfect, and some of us have had to be very loud about the challenges we faced because we have experienced the perks of not talking about them, the perks of not being able to talk about the challenges we faced. Mental health is challenging in whatever way you choose to look at it. And without the right community, without being able to actually acknowledge that one day I am not well, one day I'm struggling and I need a hand to hold, I need to be honest, I need to be sit with myself and acknowledge that I am suffering and this is real. This is not far fetched. It's not me looking for attention. It's real. I can feel it in my heart. I know it is tough. I know it is not beautiful. But yeah, this is where I am. So often than not, as your community, we have not created a community of safeness and a place where we can fall down, we can fall back on, which is a very big challenge, especially for Christian people, because we have this facade we have created for ourselves that we are perfect or we need to be perfect. So you feel like you can't go talk to your pastor, you can't go to talk to your church friends because what will they think of me? This Madam Perfect, this one that has their life figured out, this one that preaches to us every Sunday. What are you going to tell people that you don't have rent? You know? What are you going to tell people that your marriage is struggling and you are the wisest person in the friend group, you know? The need to stay perfect, the need to not be seen weak is a challenge and it is taking away a lot of lives. And unfortunately, I can in the first episode I shared how the need to be perfect and to be the one who has it all figured out affected me with my mental health. And I am very loud about mental health now because I know what it can do to someone when they try to just um what can I say? They try to just do life and it's gonna be okay. It's you know, in mambo ya dunia itaisha tu. You can't wish you can't wish depression out of your life, darling. You can't wish depression out of your life. You need to get into the manual work. And the manual work sometimes means being vulnerable. Sometimes the manual work means going to that doctor and telling him, by the way, I mean, I remember the first time um I I I knew I needed to go see a therapist. I didn't want to. I really did not want to. I was like, now you want me to go tell someone I'm not as strong? I looked for the farthest, literally. My therapist was from Kajiado. My therapist was from Kajiado because I was like, I want the farthest person who has no idea who I am. Did it work? Yes. Wherever you can get help, now that one is a controversial statement. Wherever you can get help, because there are so many ways, places we can think we are getting help from, but it's not it. But wherever in God's wisdom you feel you can get help, then by all means go get help. Because if we are working with a facade of strength and we got life figured out, the thing is, it will reach a point where you can't do it anymore. It will reach a point where your heart is too tight. Again, with my balloon analogy, as long as you're breathing into the balloon is growing. It's growing. until that point it reaches it can't grow anymore and it bursts. So I'm big on community. I'm big. Even Jesus had 12 disciples, but he had his three close ones. The ones that when he was at his lowest, he was like, you know what, we need to go and pray. Did they stay the whole night with him to pray? No. But they were there with him. Sometimes you will not understand why you're surrounded with these people who you feel are not supporting you, but there's some support they're offering you. Another example is Job. This just has come to me right now. Job was in the darkest point of his life and he was like, my God, what's happening? I'm down, I'm low, I'm kosho, kosho, kosho. But he had his friends. Now, they might seem like the most irrelevant people in that story, in his story, but they were there. Until that one of the one who was passing by, I can't remember his name, Eliju, I'm not sure, can't remember the name. I was like, y'all are giving me wrong advice. This is the right way to go. So you need those people in your life. You need those people that will be very loud, and they might not sometimes have the right advice. They might not have the right way for you to go, or this is the assured way to go, but they will be there. They will be there to offer emotional support. They might not even have a clue of what you're going through, but just by the virtue that they have sat with you through that dark season, they have been with you. I'm very lucky that in the darkest season, I had my best friend. Now, in that season, here's me putting Wangari on the biggest hotspot in her life. In that season, Wangari, who is my best friend, was there. We were not talking. We were not close. I had cut off all ties. Yes, she was not a priority in that moment in my life, but she never left. Oh God, I pushed that girl away. I was like, no, I don't want to talk to you. When she's calling, I'm like, I don't want to talk to you. I don't. But she stayed. And that might have been a lucky privilege for me to have someone who was willing to stay through it. We also need to stretch out our hand and ask for help. We also need to have that moment where, like, you know what, I am weak and I need help. I don't know how help looks like. Help would be sitting down with me, help would be praying with me, help would be just having a conversation with me, or just sitting in silence. Christians, you are not weak by acknowledging weakness. I will use this analogy for as long as I live. Jesus cried. Jesus cried, Jesus cried, Jesus cried. And he cried in front of a multitude. I'm not even asking you to cry in front of a multitude. I'm just asking for you to seek diligently that one person or two people or that little community that you can have, that you can honestly tell, I am not okay, my heart is heavy, I am weak, I am sad, but I will give this another shot. I will try this another way. And regardless of how that situation or that framework looks like, you'll be okay. Just by the virtue that you have someone holding your hand. Okay? And vulnerability also does not always mean pouring out your heart to everyone. It does not always mean just crying to everyone. We have had people who've been backstabbed, you know? We've had people who you've opened your heart to and you've told this and that has happened. And the next time they are on BBC News Alert, you know, of how bad your life is going, it takes a very discerning spirit to know when, where, and how to be vulnerable. There, there are so many ways to be vulnerable. Might sometimes does not involve talking to someone, could involve writing about it, could involve singing about it, whatever artistic expression it is. It has a way of triggering. What happens to your mind is it shows an outlet. Garbage in, garbage out. So if you are outing whatever is coming in, then it will not be crowded in your head. And I think for me, minus having Wangari in my life was my community. Writing poetry, I've said Hearted Stories was my saving grace for up to date actually. And the story is my saving grace up to now. It's a gentle reminder that I am worth being here, and my vulnerability is not weakness. My vulnerability is okay. I have created a community of young people that are willing to join me in this journey, to have these conversations. And it has also made me realize that I'm not alone. That's why I'm so excited to talk about mental health, because I'm not alone. You might feel like you're alone when you're in that room by yourself, crying and asking God, why me? But Elijah was told there are 7,000 other men out there. You're not alone. But if you stay there and you do not intentionally seek for that community, you will always feel like you're alone. Your challenges, you're not the first person, and unfortunately, I don't know, you're not the last person who will go through challenges. And might seem harsh, but there are other people that are going through that. There are other people who are going through that exact situation. So at every point, in whatever situation you're going through, just remember, you got this, you got this, you got this. You have a God that is very invested in your business. He formed you in your mother's womb for a reason, and through the challenges he will be with you. He is with you. So love, light, and surround yourself with people who will offer different things, who will make you feel different things. There are those who will offer direct support, there are those who will offer prayers, there are those who will be harsh and be like Job's friends, and they're like, where brother Amka? Just wake up and cast God and life moves on. Keep your roots keep your roots rooted in what you know you are, having a relationship with Christ, being vulnerable with Christ. I just love Jesus, because when Jesus was on the cross, or not on the cross, when he was praying, he he sweat blood. That is the highest form of stress to exist in one. It's a condition, and he sweat blood because of the high level, the intensity of stress in his body. You think you're the first person to go through stress. No, Jesus went through it and he sweat blood. So by all means, acknowledge that you're going through it. And he went to God and he was like, God, take this cup of suffering away from me. Oh God, how many times have we gone to God and we're like, God, take this cup of suffering away from me? Being that honest and vulnerable to God and just being, you know what? Yes, take this cup away from me. And it's crazy and it's weird and it's painful, but God did not take away that cup of suffering from him. He remained with the cup of suffering. It's just that God allowed him to have people around him, one, and he was there with him because he was vulnerable before God. So please let us aim to be vulnerable before Christ. Let's seek vulnerability. Let's seek to have a heart that is not too hardened to speak to people, to speak to God, to express ourselves through the challenges. Might be hard. There are days we will feel, oh my God, can I do this? Or who am I supposed to talk to? There is always someone to talk to. There are sometimes you'll have to pay for it, a therapist, but there are those who do it for free, and there are those who are willing to have these conversations with you just from a friend level. Seek help, seek love, seek direction, seek not favor, seek help, because you're human. You are human. We feel the pain. Being born again does not mean that the pain goes away. It does not mean that you will instantly figure out life just by saying, I am born again. Child, I prayed for that. When I got born again in high school, I was just getting born again to take away this pain. I was like, see, God is a healer. He will take this pain away. But he didn't. He walked with me through the fire. When I went through depression after high school, after campus, he did not take away the pain. He just directed it to a greater purpose, that we're now seated here having a conversation and hearted stories. So the season, the pain, the agony, you will need people, but you also need to be vulnerable before God, and be honest with yourself. Be honest with what you're going through. And I hope that every single day you wake up, you intentionally listen to what your body is telling you and act according to it. act according to, be kind to your heart if it needs kindness. Be tough on your heart when it needs to be toughened. Just have a very in tune spirit with your spirit. Like be in tune with your spirit so that you understand what it needs in that particular moment. Just so that you don't miss the purpose, okay? I am so excited that we are creating a community. We're having a conversation on vulnerability, and I hope that step by step, outside even hearted stories, outside me, in our different endeavors, we create a community, a safe space, a love, a light that is directly proportional to honor and glorify God. And we just be our brother's keeper. We shall be someone's Peter. We shall be someone's John. We shall be someone's just friend to hold. Okay? I hope that out there we will become the great friends that our friends need, and we get the friends that we actually need. Okay? Let's be vulnerable. Let's be honest with ourselves, and I pray we create a community that we so dearly need.